what middle of funnel does is it can be something like a DM, an extra step, an extra, hey, I'm giving something to you. You are providing for them. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching or listening to this podcast. A lot of this stuff is either summaries or snippets from the Patreon. It's completely free to join. I'm going to leave a little link in the description, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Today, I want to talk about something that I actually speak about a lot, but not in this sense. And I want to try and explain why I speak about this a lot. So what I want to talk about today is middle of funnel, which is the middle of a sales funnel. And for those of you that don't know what that is, I'm going to break down and explain a sales funnel for you right now. So a sales funnel is essentially what you're doing is you're taking people on a journey. From the top of the funnel, you're bringing them in to the top, and it's labeled as a funnel because it does this. I was going to draw this, but I'm so shit at drawing. So I'm going to visualize it with my hands, right? So you have a funnel like this. People are coming into your top of funnel, they're trickling down, and you want to give them a journey from the top of funnel all the way down, bringing them in to the bottom of the funnel. Now, the bottom of your funnel is what you're targeting to do with these people, whether that be streaming your song, buying some merch, buying gig tickets, and all of those things combined into one, right? And that is being a dedicated fan. I keep trying to do this and hit my arm on here, but I think you get the point, right? So you got people coming in, and the reason it's a funnel, by the way, is because it takes time. You're bringing loads of people in at the top, and as they're coming down the funnel, they're kind of coming in, they're kind of getting a bit compressed in there. You're not actually compressing people. This is a really weird visualization of it. I'm just trying to explain. And as you've got them coming down, it's kind of like a big clump, and it's a queue, and you're getting them into the bottom of the funnel, and it takes time, it takes nurturing to get them into the bottom. Now, a lot of people will focus so much on the top and on the bottom. So your top of funnel is like looking at your social media content, or people watching you live for the first time. You're bringing them in. So you'll have a lot of companies that really focus on the top of funnel, and it's something that I get a bit sick of, and where I can see a lot of artists getting, I don't want to call it's not getting ripped off, because the company you're doing it through, they are providing you with the service that they're saying they're providing you with. So they're not ripping you off, but what they're doing is they're saying, so like these companies that go, oh, we'll get you playlists, we'll get you more Spotify monthly listeners, whether that be through like ads or whatever, or we will help you to create content that gets you loads of views, loads of followers, all of that stuff. While it's good stuff to bring people in at the top, what these companies are not doing is showing you how to get them in the middle of that funnel and nurture them through to get to the bottom. If you are just going top of funnel focus to really focus on bottom of funnel to get your fans there, I don't even know if you can see my hand. Can you? No, my hand is here. So if you're focusing on top of funnel and bottom of funnel, right? And you're saying, well, we want to focus on getting more organic followers on TikTok, top funnel, so we can sell more tickets to a show, bottom of funnel. What you're not doing is exploring the journey, the middle of that funnel. How are you getting those people from top to bottom? The middle needs to be such more of a focus and priority than it currently is. And that is exactly what I'm trying to help with, not just today, but like every day when I do these videos and explain this stuff to you. So the middle of funnel, right? Middle of funnel, like I said, really important. If you're focusing on the top, as I said, and the bottom, as I said, you can just wave goodbye to the bottom if you don't have the middle. The bottom will not happen if you don't have the middle, right? You might see a load of artists online with like decent social media followers, that kind of thing, and actually see them, or maybe even supporting one and going, how are they only doing a 200-300 capacity venue when they've got like, I don't know, 50,000 followers on TikTok? Well, it's because they've not focused on that middle. And the middle, what that does is it nurtures people. It's looking after them. It's providing them with something. Because right now, what you're trying to do, and I can guarantee like most, if not all of you are doing this, is what you're doing, you're going top of funnel and expecting it to hit bottom, right? So you're going, please, 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 go and pre-save my song, go and listen to my song, go and stream it, go and buy this merch. What you're doing, what you're actively doing right now is you are asking something of someone. I actually brought this up from a chat I had with an artist last night, and it really got me kind of realizing that a lot of you are probably doing this, and it's fine. It's not me shitting on anyone. Like it's just something that we don't hear about enough, right? So it is like me meeting you in the street for the first time and saying, hey mate, could you just go in that shop and like buy me a loaf of bread, please? I'll give you the money for the loaf of bread, but could you please buy me a loaf of bread? You'd go, who the fuck is it? Like, why are you at, like, I don't even know who this is. Fair enough, they're going to give me the money for it, but I don't know who this guy is. Or why does he want bread? You're more than likely going to say, sorry, mate, I'm in a bit of a rush. I've got to go, right? You're just going to ignore it. You might and you might think about them a little bit after, but you go, the fuck, that's so weird, right? So that is the same principle. Whereas if me and you are friends for even a few weeks or a month or a few months or however long, and you say, oh, mate, I'm going to the shop. And I go, oh, mate, why are you there? Would you mind just picking me up some bread? You know, like I'll pay you back, or I'll get you some bread the next time I go to the shop or something. You're going to go, yeah, sure. Of course, that's all good. And that is what nurturing does in that sense. You're going from strangers to someone familiar. And just to clarify once again, I'm not shitting on anyone for doing this, because top of funnel stuff is your vanity metrics. And what vanity metrics are, they give you a bit of endorphin, a bit of serotonin. If you put a decent social media post out there and it gets a load of likes, a load of views, like you get a bunch of new followers in, you're sitting there going, oh my God, I feel great about that, right? I had a post last night that I did on TikTok that brought a few people in here, and hello, if you are one of them, hello, thank you for being here. And that made me feel great, right? And it's so easy to get that in your head and go, oh my God, this is amazing. What middle of funnel does is it can be something like a DM, an extra step, an extra, hey, I'm giving something to you. You are providing for them. Now, it can be a bit harder to get that kind of same dopamine from that. I mean, it's cool. If someone replies to you and you've given them something and they are receptive and they go, oh my God, thank you so much, this is so cool. That gives you a bit of that, right? But it's not as fast hitting, as quick and as easy. The middle slog of that funnel is the hardest part. It is the hardest amount of work. And that is why there are so many companies out there that do not want to do it, that do not want to provide you with any services to do with this. And when I first started this out, I really wanted to look at services I could provide, right, to help sort out middle funnel, because that's the most difficult part. And just to clarify, by the way, there are some marketing companies and stuff out there that really do help with middle funnel as well as top of funnel. They'll help you bring top in and then go, here's how to nurture them. And to that, I will say they are fucking awesome. If you meet anyone that is doing that, that is a massive green flag. So yes, I was thinking, how do I make this work? How can I provide a service to middle of funnel? And that is why I started consultancy. That is why I started the Patreon, because middle of funnel is so personal. It's not something you want to get a company in to do for you, because people know. And when you're trying to nurture people, when you're trying to bring them into your world and say, I'm someone you can trust, I'm someone you're going to like, having a middleman in there just takes all of that personality away. And it will, no matter who you use. If you're using ChatGPT to like make you messages, if you're using a company to do that for you, it's not you. It is not you as a person. And like I said, middle of funnel is the hardest amount of work that you have to do. It's really difficult, but the more you do it, the more you get it right, the easier it feels. And the middle of funnel, right, it can be, like I say, it can be DMing someone, and not just like one cold DM of, hey, go check us out on Spotify, listen to my next song, that kind of thing. No. Messaging and saying, hey, thanks so much for liking my post. What are the bands that you're into? Or how did you find out about me? Or just something like that. Make conversation, right? Really make that conversation. And by the way, if you start making any kind of content that is about you as an artist, which is, I know that is what I go on about so much, but there is a reason. If you start making that and you pin that to the top, it's a conversation starter, right? It is a conversation piece, because you might have a really cool, interesting story. You might not find it cool and interesting, but someone else might do. And instantly they are asking you a question about your content or about your journey. And that's how it works. If you start by asking them a question, they may then ask you back, ask you in return. And that is a swap. It takes two to tango, And what you're doing right now by putting content out there all the fucking time saying, please stream my next song, or messaging people saying, just dropped a new song, please pre-save it, please stream it. All you're doing is making this a one-way streak. All you're doing is you are demanding things off people without giving anything back. And the middle of funnel is about giving things back. And this is something where artists can proper struggle and can really fall flat on. And I understand it. Again, it's because not a lot of people cover this. And I promise you, it really does work. You can be looking right now, and let's say you have a TikTok account with 150 followers, and you could be looking at that and going, 150 followers is fucking wank, and that is barely going up. Like, what is going on? Take it as an opportunity and go, that is 150 people. And let's say some of them are family and friends, right? Take some of them out. Let's take 50 out. There's 100 people that I can interact with straight away and ask them how they found out about me, so I can start giving more people that thing that I provided for them, that they found me for. So if they're like, oh, I saw you at this gig, cool, I'm going to go play more gigs. If it was, I saw you supporting this artist, great, I'm going to get back in touch with that artist or any artist similar and see if I can support them again. If it was, I saw this really cool TikTok, I saw this thing where it was like your chorus or a story of what you were doing, awesome. Then you know I'm going to do more of that because that resonated with someone, and then the chances are it will resonate with other people too. So not only is your middle of funnel helping you to nurture people, what it's doing by asking them questions and by getting feedback from them in nice personal ways, what you are then doing is getting feedback to know how you're more likely to bring more people into your top of funnel. Anyway, so the bonus content today, what we're going to do is we're going to go through an example of a very basic sales funnel with an action for the top, an action for the middle, and an action for the bottom. And we're really going to focus on that middle action, on what we can do. Once again, thank you so much for being here. If you are new from the post I did yesterday or from any kind of messages and interaction we've had, hello. I really hope this is helping. Please let me know in the comments if it is, because I'm always open for feedback. I just want to make this work and I want to help artists as much as I can. And I just want to get as much feedback as possible so you guys can tell me what you're enjoying, what you're not enjoying, and we can make this work well for everyone. There is obviously the community tab in here as well, where you can all talk to each other. We're all in this together. It's really fucking difficult being an artist in the music industry that is up and coming and struggling through this kind of, you know, lower end of it for now. And if we all band together, we all help each other out, we all have a way more increased chance of success. And I'm a massive believer in community, and that can really help. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.